Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. We have made it to day 365. 365. If you have followed us every day, or for every square of those 365, wow, amazing. You are officially amazing. So this is our last daily square, designed by our very own Leah Forman. Leah is one of our pattern testers and moderators in the CAL group, and she is one of our new admins for our new group that will follow for 2019, where you can find details of that on Facebook, and I will pop a link below to that group as well. Leah has designed this square for us for the end of the year, this 4 season square, and it is an absolute beauty. I know I say a lot about the various squares, that they are gorgeous, they are beautiful, but honestly, how can you not say this square is fantastic? We have spring flowers, summer sun, autumn leaves, and winter snowmen, all in one gorgeous little 6-inch square. Perfect way to end the year. We come to you from various climates across the world, and some of you have had snowflakes to make in your summertime, and summer flowers to make in your wintertime. This square covers it all. Wherever you are in the world, whatever your climate is right now, there's something in this square for you. So let's get started on this. This will take a lot longer than our regular squares. There are a lot of various things we have to do with this square, all of which, when we take step by step, not scary or tricky at all. We're just going to take it step by step. But you might want to get yourself a cup of tea or coffee, and partway through you might want to stop and have a stretch before you go on to part 2 of this video, of which there is a link to part 2 down there as well. So grab your things and we'll get started. I will just say, for this square you will need a background colour, but you, by all means, you could do 4 separate background colours for the 4 seasons. But the other things that you will need, if you want to keep this true to itself, you will need some white for your snowman, or maybe some cream if you haven't got white. And then I've just used these little pieces of yarn to make their scarves, just to make them a bit more snowman-like than just white blobs. And then you need a colour for your leaves, for your autumn leaves, and then a colour for your summer sun, a colour for these little plants and leaves, and a colour for your spring flowers. Okay, so 6 colours in total, apart, not counting these little scarf colours. Okay, so background, snowman, leaves, sun, plants, and flowers. Okay, so we will be starting at the bottom. So to start with, you will need your background colour and your white. Okay, and you might benefit at some points from having some stitch markers as well. Okay, so grab your things and let's get started. Okie dokie, we are going to start with our border, our background colour. So I'm using this almondy beige colour for my background, and you want to chain 24. Now we are going to be putting a border on this, so if it seems a bit too short, don't panic about that. Okay, so chain 24, and then you want to work into the second chain from the hook and do a single crochet, and then you're going to single crochet all the way across to the end, and you'll have 23 single crochet. So just to keep this bottom row nice and neat, I'm going to work into the back bump. So go into the second chain, whether you want to go through 1 loop, 2 loops, or the back loop, and you are going to do those 23 single crochets all the way along. Okay, and I will see you at the end of this row. Okay, so 23 single crochets in that first row. Then what you're going to do is turn your work around to work on the back side, and you need your snowman colour now. So obviously it doesn't have to be white, but snowman colour, and have that ready. What we're going to do to start with is chain 3 as our first double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So skip this very first one here where the chain comes from the top, and then do a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, leave those last 2 loops on there of that last stitch, and then pick up your snowman colour and use that to pull through your last 2 loops. Okay, and then you're going to carry your background colour while you make these snowmen, and you're going to we're going to 5 treble crochet popcorn. So we're going to carry this background colour along, as I said, and we're going to do a 5 treble crochet popcorn, or reverse popcorn. So first of all, we're going to do 5 treble crochets in the next stitch. So yarn over twice, go into that next stitch and do 5 treble crochets. So that's 1. You can just pull this tail down if it's getting a bit loose. Okay, so do 5 treble crochets all together in that stitch. So that's, oops, that was 4. Let's pop that back on my hook. And 5th one in the same stitch. Okay. Okay, so when you have 5 treble crochets, take your hook out, and we're going to do a reverse popcorn this time, which we haven't done very much. So instead of, you want to pop your hook in, but because we want the popcorn to go away from us, like so, so you want it on the front side of our work, we are going to pop the hook from the back to the front in that first stitch. So normally we would go from this side to the front, okay? This time we're going to go from the back to the front like so, and then pop the loop on and then pull through, and that gives you your popcorn popping to the front of your work, not this back side. Okay, and then you just chain 1 to close. Okay, so then we're going to pick up colour B, our background colour, and drop colour A. We're going to carry that one now. So your snowman colour we are going to carry, and we are going to do a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So you want to take your background colour and just pull that through that chain loop there, ready to work on. So we're going to do a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches whilst carrying this snowman colour. Let's go straight in there. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and then you're going to do another snowman popcorn. So actually, sorry about this, you need to leave your last 2 loops and bring your snowman colour through. So just give it a slight tug, make sure it's tight, and pull through. And then you're going to carry this background colour again. So in the next stitch you want to do another one of those 5 treble crochet reverse popcorns. So don't forget, that's 5 treble crochets in the next stitch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 5. Pull out your hook, pop your hook back into the first one from the back, into that stitch, and then pop your loop back on and pull through, and then chain 1 to close, and then pick up your background colour again and pull through that loop, ready to do your next 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, remember you're going to change on your last 2 loops back to your snowman colour, and if you see this chain here, it's come quite big just there. Can you see that there? It's gotten quite big, so just give a little tug on that colour just to pull it a bit tighter. There we go, you see it's gone a bit tighter. Okay, and swap back to that snowman colour, ready to go. So you are going to do 5 of these reverse popcorns in total for your snowmen. So you've got 3 more to go, and in between each one you're going to change over and do 3 of your background colour double crochets. Okay, so repeat this along and you will finish with your last 3 double crochets. In the last 3 stitches will be your last 3 double crochets. But continue to carry that white all the way along. Okay, you will need your snowman colour, you will need at the end, so carry all the way, carry your colours along with you. Okay, so 3 more of your popcorns and 3 double crochets in between, and to finish. And there we go, at the end of row 2. This is the back, the side that we've been working on, and this is the front. So there's those snowmen bodies, looking good. Now, you guys know how I love to help you solve problems that occur in your crochet. You know I love to solve problems when it comes to crochet, and you also know that I love nothing better than not having to undo my work if I make a mistake. So I'm going to be completely honest with you now and say, look, I have a stitch left over. Do any of you have a stitch left over? Or is it just me? If you have a stitch left over, then come on, help me feel better and leave a comment down at the bottom of the page and tell me that it happened to you too. Although I'm sure you're much better crocheters than me, and it's all gone swimmingly. How has this occurred, you may ask? Well, if I look back to the beginning of my row, if it had occurred here, then I would have undone my work. Or even here I might have undone, but it's all the way back to here, and I really don't fancy undoing all this work when I've still got the rest of the square to make to show you. So if we look back here, I have made this 3rd double crochet and this popcorn. I've done it all into the same stitch. This stitch here at the bottom, I have done this double crochet and this popcorn all into the same stitch, meaning I have a spare stitch at the end. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that because we're going to do a border, and so when we do the border I will just tuck it in. Okay, I will just tuck it in the border and no one would know, and if I hadn't pointed it out to you now, you might not have noticed. Okay, but there we go. That's what you can do if you make a mistake. You can fix it, usually. If you are short of a stitch, well, really the only thing you can do is undo it, unless you know how to make a foundation stitch, a chainless foundation stitch, and then you can go ahead and add one onto the end of your row. And you can do a search on YouTube to find out how to do that if you need to. Okay, so there we go, just letting you know that, you know, I get things wrong. You know I get things wrong all the time. Okay, so we're going to move on to row 3 now. And we're going to work there on the opposite side. So turn your work around onto this front side, and we are going to use our background colour, and we are going to chain 2 as a half double crochet. We're going to carry our white back with us, the snowman colour. So chain 2 is your first half double crochet, and then in the next 2 stitches you're going to do half double crochets. just like so. But we are going to then change to our white for a snowman. Okay, now if you prefer to do your colour change within your last stitch, for a half double crochet, what you need to do, just undo that last stitch. For a half double crochet, you need to do your yarn over, insert your hook and pull through, and then drop that colour, pick up your new colour, the white, and then pull that through all 3 loops, okay? So that's how you do that smooth transition. Otherwise, just when you've got your loop on the hook, pick up your next colour and then just pull that through and pull the other one down tightly, and that will work as well. So that's how we're doing the colour change on this one. So in between each one, we're going to have 3 half double crochets. And what we're going to do with our snowman colour, in the top of your treble crochet reverse pop, so you want to go, you will have your chain. If you look here to the right, you will have your chain, and then next to it you will have the top of that popcorn stitch, okay? So into there you're going to do a 5 double crochet popcorn. So yarn over, go into the top of that popcorn, and you're going to make 5 double crochets into the top of that popcorn, okay? So 3, 4 and 5, and then take your hook out, and this time we're going to do it from the front. So pop your hook in from the front to the back, pop the loop back on, and then pull through, okay? And that gives you the top of your snowman. And then you're going to chain 1 and then pick up colour B, which we should have been carrying, and hopefully you were. I kind of forgot that, so I'm going to carry mine across the back now. Ideally carry it as you're working. There is a lot to think about in this square, so I apologise that I forgot to tell you that. So pick up colour B for your background, and then carry colour A behind, and then you're going to do 3 half double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So where those double crochets were of the last row, okay, do half double crochets. Remember to change over to your snowman colour on the next stitch. If I can work out why I can't get into my stitch. There we go. So carrying that colour, and then I'm going to change over. Remember, give a slight tug on it to close that chain up a little bit, and then pull through. There we go. Okay, so you're going to repeat this all the way along. You're going to give every snowman a head with a 5 double crochet popcorn, and then you're going to do 3 half double crochet and then another snowman head, 3 half double crochet all the way to the end. And then when you get to the end, you can fasten off your white, your snowman colour, okay? And here is what we have at the end of row 4, 5 very cute little snowmen. Now the thing you can do afterwards, I would suggest you probably do it after you've done the rest of the square, so that the yarn doesn't get in the way, but you can just take a little piece of yarn and just sort of pull it through and just tie to make a little scarf. So I'll show you that at the end, but right now it could just get in the way of what you're making. So there we go, 5 cute little snowmen. So that's our winter. So we're going to move on to autumn or fall, depending on where you are and what you call that season. And we're going to continue with our background colour, and then we will need some leaf colour. Okay, so for row 5, this is where you might find a couple of stitch markers quite useful. So just grab a couple of those, or a couple of pieces of yarn would be fine too. And then you're going to turn your work around, and we're going to work along the back side. Oops. And you're just going to chain 1. And then single crochet in the first 3 stitches. So we do go in the very first stitch this time. So you do the first 3 stitches, a single crochet, okay, and then you're going to do a single crochet on top of the 5 double crochet popcorn. So make sure you get the on top of the popcorn and not the chain. So just do a single crochet on top there. Oops. Actually, sorry, the stitch markers are for the next row. Okay, so on top of the popcorn, and then you're going to do a single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then again on top of the popcorn, and the next 3, and so on to the end of the row. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do these single crochets, and I will join you at the end of the row. Okay, so there's the back of row 4, and here's the front. Okay, so row 5, this is where you will benefit from the stitch markers. So we're going to chain 1, turn the work around, so we've got the front facing, and then you're going to single crochet in the first 6 stitches. And then you're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and then single crochet in the next 9 stitches. Now when you've done that first one, pop a stitch marker in that chain 1 space, because a chain 1 space is easy to get lost. So pop a stitch marker in that chain 1 space. Okay, and then so you're going to do 9 single crochets. So we've done 1 so far. 2, 4, 5, 9. After that 9th single crochet, you are going to chain 1, skip 1, and then do 6 single crochets to the end. So again, do that first one and then pop a marker in that chain 1 space so that it doesn't get lost. And then finish your 6 stitches to the end of the row. And there we go, at the end of row 5. Okay, so we are going to chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet. Turn your work around and then do a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So remember, leave the first one and then do a half double crochet in the next 3. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and then half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that will be, we're going to skip a stitch, and then it'll be the stitch, and then 1 in the space, and then 1 in the next stitch. So take that stitch marker out and do a half double crochet in the stitch before the space, and then 1 in the space, and then a half double crochet in the stitch next to the space. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1, skip 1 more stitch, and then you're going to make 5 half double crochets along. So skip 1 and then 5 half double crochets. and then chain 1, skip 1, and then 3 single crochets, 1 in the stitch, 1 in the space, and 1 in the next stitch. And then chain 1, skip a stitch, and then a half double crochet in the next 4 stitches, taking you to the end. And there we go. There is row 6. You've got those 4 chain spaces. Turn it to the front, you've got those 4 chain spaces there. Okay, so, do you know what? These look a bit like bunnies as well, don't they, at the moment? When we put the scarves on, they will definitely look like snowmen. Okay, so row 7. So chain 2 as your first half double crochet, turn your work around, and then do a half double crochet in the next stitch. And then chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then you're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch, which is the one just before the chain space. And then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half double crochets along, including going into the spaces. So 1 into the space, and then 2, 3, 4, she says. It goes in, 5 into the space, and 6 into the stitch and next to the space. Okay, and then you are going to grab some more yarn. Okay, then you are going to chain 1 after those 6, chain 1, and then you're going to skip a stitch, and then you're going to do 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. So chain 1, which we've done, skip a stitch, and then 3 half double crochets into the next stitch, and that will be directly in line with your middle snowman's head. So 3 half double crochets in there. Okay, chain 1 and skip a stitch, and then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Sorry, it's counting on the chart. Going to do 7 half double crochets, 1 in each stitch and 1 in the chain spaces. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you will finish just the other side of that second chain space. 7 half double crochets. Okay, once we've done those 7, you're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and then do a half double crochet in the last 2 stitches. Okay, remembering that that last one is always in the top of your chain. Okay, oops, that's not what to do. Okay, 1 in the top of this chain. There we go. That's the end of row 7. Okay, now the next row we're going to be doing our autumn leaves, which involve some puff stitches going into our spaces that we've created. So if you look at each side, we have 5 spaces. So if you look here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 1 in the middle at the bottom. Okay, see that 1 in the middle at the bottom, and then we have 2 on the next row, and then 2 on the next row. You see those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on this side we also have the same. So we've got 1, 2 on the top row, 2 on the next row, and then this little one on the row below. Okay, and that is what we're going to be working into Okay, those 5 spaces. So grab your autumn leaves colour, and that's where we're going to what we're going to start with our next row.